What is up, guys? This is your boy ZST here, aka Zach Son of Time, man. We are back with another devotion, Sunday, and today we're going to be talking about our Good Shepherd Part 2. So if you're not familiar, I did Part 1 on Wednesday. Had a really phenomenal day on Wednesday. I really felt like it was really good devotion. Little short story time before we get dug up into this devotion, because I am kind of on a time budget right now because I do got work. But mainly, so we had some adversity throughout the week. So if y'all not familiar, if y'all haven't already know, on Thursday about 6 o'clock in the evening Eastern time, unfortunately totaled my Beamer, my BMW. Went through like a sinkhole area. It started flooding, a water pipe busted, and tore my suspensions on front and rear on driver's side. So right now I am out with the car, so kind of in an iffy spot, but we're making it the best out of, because we know that God is working with us and not against us, and everything that we go down is a significant reason behind it, right, guys? So that's the thing that we just got to keep reminding ourselves, is to be positive, find that summit, and keep chasing our goals and dreams, man. There's no room for negativity. Negativity rules all evil. If you're negative, you're gonna be in a bad spot, bad energy necessary. That's not where you want to be a pawn of. I will say, great things happen throughout the adversity. Thursday night I came home and I was dwelling. I was very upset. Can't say that was the most positive, because as an 18-year-old kid 2 years ago, going to the bank and get my own loan, and going to the car dealership, driving the car off my it was my big purchase. What I'm saying? Like, that was my, as a young adult, that was my first big purchase in this world. And to kind of like be able to go to work, and what I was working for was to get my car paid off, and now I don't have that car. It took a toll on me, right, guys? So like, I was very, very upset. I was very down here, and necessary, a couple days after that, both streams on Friday and Saturday was just unfortunate, man. Two different streams, but failed. We had some failed streams, but that's okay. I'm gonna dig into that in a second. But yeah, so Thursday night, I'm laying in my bed. I'm just right there. That's my bed behind me, guys. I'm laying in my bed. Roll Tide, though. If you're, let me know what kind of sports team you like. I'm a big college football fan. Been an Alabama fan my whole life. If I was to show you my room, I got like pictures of different like Alabama players hanging up. Going to start using my room as a setup, because I do have a really nice setup for what it's worth and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna start also making content in my room as well, just kind of give y'all fill off idea like where I'm from, like where my little base at, what I'm saying. But mainly, so I'm laying in my bed. Should I get up, chat, and just like lay in the bed, make it like a scenery? Nah, I'm joking, that's too much work. But so I'm laying in bed, and I'm looking up. I didn't even touch my phone during this time. I was just very upset, dwelling, very negative energy. Necessarily, I didn't really know like what to do. Like, I was lost. I was like, I just lost my car. Like, how am I going to do my content? How am I going to get back and forth to work? Like, so many thoughts just like going in one ear, out the other, and my mind was just racing. It was like literally a racetrack. It was just So I didn't know what to do, right? So for like 2 hours, I'm just laying in my bed, not doing absolutely anything, chat, just sitting there being negative. And out of nowhere, I got this rush. I was like, I still gotta go to the gym. I still gotta do this live stream. Because during that time, I was thinking about just not doing that live stream. And I knew if I didn't do that live stream, I probably wouldn't have showed up Friday. I probably wouldn't have showed up yesterday to live stream. I probably would have just gave up for a little bit. And they say that's not who I am. I'm not the type of person to give up on any type of adversity or circumstance. But I came very close to letting Satan, the devil, win that night. But I got like this rush of energy. Already had my shoes on, already had my outfit on, and I was like, I'm going to the gym. So I went to the kitchen, scooped some pre-workout. I started filling it. I was like, yep, we're going to the gym. So I took the truck where I'm driving back and forth to work now, which is a gas eater. Let me say that for the most part. Let's say it's not like a BMW, I will say, but hey, it's transportation, gets me to point A to point B, so I can't complain. But so I go to the gym, and necessarily like I'm having a bad day still, regardless of what I'm doing. It's unfortunate. I had unfortunate news, unfortunate timing, unfortunate things happened during that time. And so I walk into the gym, and the first person I see is Levi the Disciple. I talked about it in my last 2 streams, but fortunately, guys, the only way you're going to see those 2 streams is if you subscribe to the Twitch channel in like 7 days. Then you might be able to see that, Twitch content because like I'm talking failed on those 2 last streams. But so I walk into the gym Thursday night, and you know, obviously I'm having a bad day. Levi's like, hey, how you doing, man? And we just start conversating. You know, very ongoing person, very uplifting. You know, he cares about people. He doesn't care who you are. He's going to talk to you. You know, I've known him for a little bit now because I've been working out at the same gym as him for a couple years now. You know, very great guy, right? So I realized I knew this guy, you know, because I was scrolling on YouTube one night about 2 weeks ago, and I see he just popped up on my YouTube feed. I was like, that guy looks familiar. I was like, who is this guy? I know this guy. And I clicked on one of his, you know, videos. I subscribed to his channel, and I was like, oh yeah, he's from in his description he has where he's from. I was like, oh yeah, he works out with me, right? So we ended up talking for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. You know, time was just moving during that time. We talked a lot about adversity. We talked a lot about different things, you know, what we, you know, go through and what, like, you know, adversity that we've been through and like how we can overcome it and stuff like that. Ended up being a very good night after that. He invited me to his Discord, which has like over 450, 500 members into it. They're all Christian. It's a devotion based, you know, Discord server. And I'm really looking forward to be able to attend the devotions that they do every Saturday morning and be able to go to church every Sunday morning as well. Haven't been to church in a long time, guys. It's probably been like my freshman year of high school, I'd say, maybe even 8th grade. High school was a big toll on me. High school was kind of crazy. Definitely went different routes when I should have been stayed on a commitment path. I should have stayed locked in then. But, you know, things happen, you know, mistakes happen. We learn from our lessons and we count our blessings. That's the only way we make progress in this life, is be able to learn from our wrongs and be able to start making them, you know, in a better right? So, next hour we start talking. I get invited to his Discord. You know, everything's just like, you know, I'm just sitting there like in shock. I'm just like, what, you know, I just went through all this adversity, and now like I'm getting an opportunity from God. Like, this is God giving me my first sign, right? So God gave me this signal, and I'm like, okay, so God's listening to my problems right now. God's, you know, he's working with me, not against me. That's bulletin point A. God is working with you and not against you. Always remember that, guys. So I'm sitting there, and after he leaves the gym, you know, I start my live stream, and I was like just excited. I was an excited kid. I was like, wow. You know, I just like 2 hours ago, if you asked me how I was doing, I would have looked at you in your face and said, I'm having a horrible day. Like, I just want to go to sleep. I just want to wake up tomorrow and hopefully it'd be better, right? So, you know, I definitely felt the fortune to be able to go to the gym itself and get that workout in. Because if I would have never went to the gym, I wouldn't have streamed. I would have, you know, not did my 365 Twitch-a-thon. B, I would have never got to talk to Levi and would have never got to be in the Discord and been invited to church in the devotion times and stuff like that. So I'm very fortunate I took that step, you know, and did what I love doing anyways, regardless of how I was feeling, right? Because in this life, we all know it's about showing up. If you want to be disciplined, if you want to be a committed person, you want to find that true self in yourself, you got to show up no matter what you're doing in life. That's the biggest part where people fail at, is showing up when they don't feel like it. Guys, the thing I love to say the most is, if you're, you know, say you work at a job that you necessarily don't like, right? Because that's, you know, I like my job just because of the people there, but necessarily the work that I do, not a big fan of the work that I have to do, right? Because I work in a warehouse. It's a tough job. The schedule's 4:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. So very tough job, right? So necessarily I'm not a big fan of it. But the thing that you have to learn to be able to develop and grow and adapt to who you want to become is, you got to start acting the things that you dislike in life. I'm not a big fan of saying the hate, but things, I will say it, but things that you necessarily hate in life or dislike in life, you got to act like you love it anyways. That's the only way that you'll be able to get to that point A to point B, right? Because if you go in with a negative attitude and you're just negative, most likely 9 times out of 10, you're going to quit what you're doing, right? So it's very important to have some type of positive atmosphere or some type of positive light in your mind to be able to keep you moving forward when times are hard. So necessary, remember that in this life, when you go down adversity, you go down different paths, there's going to be parts where you're going to be uncertain. There's going to be uncertainty, guys. That's the best part of it, though. Going down a light with no, going down a tunnel with no light in that path, that's the only way you're going to find your purpose, guys, is to keep moving forward, is to get you to point A to point B, regardless of how you feel. So I think it's very important just to always keep your head up, look into the mirror, remind yourself how wonderful a person you are, and attack that day like you would do any other day, man. If you wake up with a negative attitude, you're necessarily going to have a negative day. So that's just like the, the basis of what I want to talk upon. But secondly, I go to work Friday, had a banger day Friday. I'm talking like a really good day Friday. I woke up, I thought I was gonna wake up and like just be dwelling for the fact that I'd look out into the driveway and my car's not there, but I didn't. I, woke up, had a good mindset, went to the gym regardless, and was doing the things I needed to do. So went to the gym, did my live stream, had a really good live stream. I felt like I really covered some good points, some good topics in it. But the thing that really did, was kind of dwelling about that live stream, guys, is Twitch wouldn't work. So like when I clicked on live to go on Twitch was not working. So I had to use a different software, which I'm not familiar with, right? So all that content that I streamed was supposed to be horizontal, but on the live stream software it was portrait, so everything's like mushed up, it's all like squinted. So that live stream is, it was a failed opportunity live stream, but that's about, that's what we learn in life, was we learn to fail forward, right? That's the biggest thing to be able to accomplish your objective or your goals, is you got to learn to fail forward. So I learned that, Friday's stream was necessarily a failed stream, but we still showed up and we still went live. That's all that matters, right? So then I go to work and I have a really good day at work, guys. Probably my best day at work I've had in a long time, guys. Probably, one of the best days. I'll definitely put that number one out of any other day I've worked there. It's definitely one of the best days I had. I had a good mindset all day. It's very positive. I didn't really have any negative energy. Was like, man, I'm at work again. It was just like a smooth day, So I go throughout that day, right? And we end up, ending our shift a little bit earlier than what we usually do. It was like 11:30 we ended, or 11:45 we ended. We had one more 15-minute break. So I'm using that last 15-minute break for my advantage, before I leave, so I can get the extra free 15 minutes on my paycheck. And I'm sitting there looking at my phone during that last 15-minute, break in the break room. And I look down and it says somebody comment on my YouTube post. And I was like, I'm excited. Somebody comment on my YouTube post, necessarily I thought it was gonna be something negative or something like some criticism or feedback. But guys, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear the negative feedback or the criticism, because that knows, it makes me know what I need to work on. So if you got anything that y'all realize I need to work on, or something, a topic that I might need to talk about, or whatever it be, is, just give me that feedback and I would love to cover it. Because like the more I get feedback and the more I get comments, the more I can look up to, the more I can like realize and learn. It's all about a learning tool in life. Like everything you do, you got to learn. You're just not going to pick up something and be naturally, talented at. You got to start from the bottom and then work your way up that ladder, right? But I look at that YouTube comment and it was actually a really good comment. And just to go through the circumstances I did the night before, losing my BMW, losing my car, and necessarily being in a negative, negative mood, negative energy, Satan's really playing on both shoulders. And then to have not only to meet Levi the disciple, be invited to the Discord, be invited to church, and all these good things from, the blessing. It was literally a blessing in disguise, guys, right? So then I'm looking at that comment, and basically the comment went wrong. It went, went something like this. It was like, this was usually anonymously on my feed. Necessarily I wouldn't click on this, but, it's interesting. I like the thumbnail or whatever. And then he ended up clicking on it, right? And the feedback was, this really gave me the encouragement. This really gave me the ignite that I need to keep moving forward. And he said, thank you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, or something like that. I don't really know the comment full, like hand by hand, but the comment was basically saying that I, ZST, Zach Sonatime, helped him ignite into his passion and want to keep moving forward in life. And man, like I can't say, I wasn't in tears. I was in tears of joy, guys. I was on the way home and I was just like, I just helped somebody. That's my whole purpose. That's my whole passion in this life, is to be able to get back to communities, be able to bring people in, and be able to prosper people and help people uplift themselves and find the person that they want to become, right? Because in this life, I always talk about it. Self-love is the most important thing. It's the most important characteristic trait that you need in this world, is self-love. Because if you don't have self-love, A, you can't love somebody else. B, you're not going to love yourself, then you're always going to be in a down mood. You're always going to be negative. You might not want to be uplifting. So that all goes back with surrounding yourself with the people that you need to surround yourself with. I think it's very important to have positive people, enlightenment, let people, want to see you succeed. Because if you're hanging out with people that are lazy or negative, I always talk about this topic, then you're going to fall into the same loop pattern as them, because you're hanging out with people that necessarily doesn't want to do what you're trying to do, right? So I think it's very important to surround yourself with people that necessarily have the same ideas and same goals, and that are positive, and you know, that want to see you move forward and be able to be successful. Because majority of the time, guys, you know, your friends or the people you think you're friends, they're not really your friends, man. They would rather, they sit behind, they talk behind your back, and they would rather see you fail than succeed. The reason why I know that is because it happens in my city. You know, people act like what they say to other people won't get to somebody else, right? Because I think it's funny. You know, me and my boy Noah was hanging out last night, and we got a phone call, and it was just somebody like saying, well, this person's saying something about you, this person's saying something about you. And I really looked at Noah, I was like, don't let that affect you, bro. Like, you know, that's okay. You know, like, people are going to hate, people are going to criticize, people are going to be negative. People, like I said, people want to see you fail, right? But it's all important to know what you're doing is the most important part. If you have a vision up here, guys, if you have a dream up here and you see something that you can do, genuinely do, keep attacking it. Don't let somebody else dictate your steps in life. Don't let somebody else dictate what you're trying to do in this life. I think that's very important, because you know, God puts out these plans for you. Like, you know, Jeremiah 29:11, God says, I have a plan, I declare a plan for you to prosper you, not to harm you. And I think that's really important to understand, guys. God is putting you down paths for a certain reason. Now, like I said, it might be an uncertain path, but that reason behind it will have a bigger light of shine at the end of that tunnel. All you gotta do is keep moving forward. Because, you know, I like saying this reference as well, about Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson, I think he said it really good, and I talk about every single day. Mike Tyson said, if you have a genuine passion, you'll seek your purpose through it. And I think that's a really good quote and a really good, you know, background, because, like, look who Mike Tyson is and look what the type of person he is, right? He has a really good disciplined mindset. Now, his past might not have been the best past, but he made, you know, every day a better day, right? So I think whatever you go through in your past life, whatever happens in your past life, you can't dwell on it, you know? You can't sit there and let it eat you alive, because, like, you can't do nothing about the past life, guys. All you can do is live in the present, as that's considered as a gift, and aim for the future. You make your small steps in the present to be able to make bigger steps in the future, right, guys? So I think it's very important to always become the person that you're wanting to become. And, you know, don't, like I said, don't let them people dictate you, because there are always going to be people that would rather see you fail than succeed. And that's, you know, that's going to be anywhere you live at, anywhere you are, you know, any person who you are. Even the biggest streamers, the biggest content creators, the biggest artists, no matter who they are, they have haters and they have dictators, right? But it's all about being able to block out that negative energy, that Satan trying to, you know, get you off your path, because Satan sees you're doing something that he doesn't want you doing. So once you start getting that reflection, once you start getting that negative energy, it's all about keep pushing forward through it, knowing that if you wake up today, you woke up for a reason, you woke up for a purpose. So always be thankful, never take the small things granted in this life, because every day is not guaranteed. And, you know, just keep being the person that you want to become. Yeah, and like one day you're going to figure out what your purpose is, and one day you're going to look back and be like, you know, I'm so thankful that I kept pushing through the hard times and the, you know, trials and tribulations, because like I said, every day is not guaranteed. And, you know, if you're seeing this and, you know, I get to help you throughout the screen, you know, whoever's on the other side of the screen right now, you know, I hope I can help you, and I hope I can, you know, change some beliefs or change some, you know, perspectives of life, because I know how it really feels to be at the bottom and have to work your way up that ladder. You know, that's just with any, you know, anybody else in this life. We all start from the bottom, guys. It's very important to understand that. But like I did say, I am on a time crunch right now, guys, so we're going to go ahead and start in and dig into our Good Shepherd part 2. Let's say, like, this is a smaller piece than the first part, but, you know, we're going to cover the bases. We're going to say what I think I can do. I'm going to try to relate some stories to it, but I did want to start off with that story, because also I forgot to say this. So yesterday's stream, banger stream, right? Like, had a really good stream yesterday, chat, and it was probably my favorite stream out of all these days so far. You know, day 25 out of 365 days, chat. Probably one of my favorite streams, right? So I'm in the gym, I'm working out, it's leg day. Like I said, act like you love it anyways, because I'm not a big fan of legs. But I was like, you know, the topic was don't fake it till you make it. And basically behind that, it was just kind of saying, like, be your true self, you know, show your true personality, your characteristic traits. Because if you show your true self and you show you're vulnerable and you show your emotions, because we all have hearts, let's be honest, we're all, you know, we all have emotions. If you show that side of you, you have a greater chance of being successful. And that's just because you're being the person that you generally are, that God created you to be. But if you're faking it, then what do you get in return? What's the reward if you're faking, or faking trying to be somebody else? You know, you can't fake being somebody else, because that's, it's gonna collide, and it's never gonna work out. You're just gonna get more negative feedback than you are being yourself, so just be the person that you truly want to come. That's basically what the title was, basically what the story was. But really good banger video, guys. I'm talking 2 hours and 30 minutes live stream in the gym, and the whole entire time I'm thinking I'm live, right? So I'm thinking I'm on the live, it said that the uptime was going, it said that it was going, I seen literally my phone did not turn off one bit or 1 point in this whole stream. My phone did not turn off. It literally was recording. It said it was recording, and necessarily I didn't know, it's saying that it's live. My phone didn't turn off, so this whole time I'm thinking that I'm live. And even when I pressed end at the end of the stream, it asked for the feed. It said, "Are you sure you want to end the live stream?" And I said yes. Then it asked for the feedback to give it like 5 stars or whatever. And so I get my truck, I'm about to go meet up with Noah, and I look down, and I was looking at the Twitch, because I never got my notification, my analytics. I was like, was I never live? Oh boy, man, that it filled some energy in me, man. I was quite astonished. I was like, no way that my phone was turned on. It said that it was live, and all of that topics that I talked about was wiped away, and nobody even saw, nobody even seen it. I felt like it was a really good video for the sole fact that, I had a lot of interactions at the gym yesterday. I was pretty much just telling people, keep working hard. Like, I see what you're doing. Talking to the same people I see pretty much every day that I go in there. And just to kind of see that, the live never worked out and I don't have that content, it kind of bummed me out a little bit, chat. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of bummed me out. But I know that, it's a failed opportunity. Things happen. We just gotta learn to fail forward, and I can always redo that live stream, right? I had it written down before, I had the game plan. So next Saturday, guys, if y'all want to tune in, I'm doing the exact same live stream because it's gonna be the exact same workout. I'm just gonna have to recover what I was talking about, which that's okay with me because I understand that God said this is not the right time for this video, but maybe next week it is. And that's how you gotta look at it in life, guys. Like, right now might not be that perfect timing for that relationship. Right now might not be that perfect timing for your job. Right now might not be the perfect timing to pass that test. Whatever it is, you just gotta look at it maybe this other day is, maybe tomorrow is. And once you start developing a mindset like that, you'll be able to start seeing the different perspectives. We are moving into our devotion. So the first part of our Good Shepherd part 2 is Psalms 23:2. He lets me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still and quiet waters. I'm really a big fan of that because at night we get our rest, right? Throughout the busiest days, we get to be able to go to sleep at night. We get to be able to get some rest. I think that's very important. I think rest is a main importance of this whole life and everything that we do in it. Necessarily, when you're going through hard times and trials and tribulations, it's very important to be able to be at a peace of mind. Peace of mind is going to be able to keep you moving forward and not really dwell or have that burden. I think it's very important, guys, to also cast your anxiety and your burdens to the Lord. That's because the Lord wants to be able to help you, guide you, and feed you and protect you. We talked about that in Good Shepherd Part 1. God will feed you, God will protect you, and God will guide you. So always understand that no matter what you're going through, God sees that plan way before you see it. And he'll put you down that path, and he'll know exactly what he's doing way before you even know what you're doing. So I think it's very important just to keep trusting the process and keep moving forward no matter what happens. But moving on, like I did say, I'm in a time crunch. It's already 3:42, chat. I got to leave my house in the next 10 minutes. So we are going to kind of speed things up. Sorry that the live stream is delayed. I had to write my devotion down. Shout out inspirationsheavens.com or heavensinspirations.com. Right now, this is where I'm getting my devotions from, and I'm kind of writing it up, and I'm just telling my part of the story. I read that devotion, and what I do is I just kind of put in my own thoughts and my own story to it. But right now, that's what I'm doing because I do have a full-time job, and it's kind of hard to manage editing, clipping, publishing, and then try to also write my own devotion. That'd be too many hours, and I don't have that many hours in a day because I work a 10-hour job. Got to do my live content, which is 3 hours. Hopefully, I try to shoot for 3 hours the live stream, and then I have 3 hours left in my day, and that 3 hours is editing, publishing, making thumbnails, making titles, and then sleeping for 6 hours. So, or I want to start trying to sleep 8 hours. I think 8 hours of sleep would be really good. But anyways, back to the devotion itself. So our second passage is, God lets us lie down in green pastures. This speaks to me of resting, recharging, and renewing our souls. To be secure at peace, the green pasture also speaks of fertile soil, well watered, which produces growth, as well as abundance and nourishment. The sheep feast on the luscious grass. Likewise, we feast on the word of God, which brings renewal. So basically, like I was just saying, we get to get some rest, we get to lay down at night, be at that peace of mind. So I think it's very important, guys, once you start trusting into the Lord, and once you start making that vulnerable step, once you start making a relationship with him, you'll be able to start seeing the different types of perspectives, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all important to know that, like I said earlier, God is working with you, not against you. There's going to be times where you feel like maybe this isn't right, but it's all important about being patient. Patience is the biggest key to success, guys. That's also another key to success, because if you rush everything necessary, all of those things that you rush might fall apart. So it's better to be patient, let things fall into place accordingly, than to rush things and let them fall apart. So I think that's a very important, quote to remember and remind yourselves to always just be patient. I know it's hard to be patient sometimes. I know, guys, but it's okay. It's okay. Just take some moments, take some minutes, and just sit back and let God work his timing out. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's all God's timing. Whatever happens in this life is God's timing. It's not your timing, it's the Lord's timing. So always remember that, guys. But being able to have that renewal, to be able to let our sins go, to be able to ask God for forgiveness, and be able to build a relationship with our Father, and be able to get to where we need to get to, is just incredible, guys. It's very important to know that. It's just like, man, I might have just done this, or I might have just done that, or I might have just said this, that, or I might have just whatever it might have been. And then to be able to believe in a Lord and be able to cast all those anxieties and cast all those burdens onto him, and he takes that. That's why he sent his only begotten son to die on our cross for our sins. Like, would you go put yourself on a cross and get nailed? Like, ask yourself that question, chat. Would you put yourself on a cross and go get nailed for everybody else's sins? Because I can tell you right now, like 9 times out of 10, everybody's gonna say no. Like, why would I want to get nailed to a cross, right? But then, I mean, that's just a perspective, right? That's just a perspective of looking at it. So the fact that God sent his only begotten son to get nailed to a cross for us humans to forgive of what all the evil we bring is absolutely astonishing. It's absolutely just crazy to think of that, So always be blessful, always be thankful, always know that there's a bigger side of the story to any type of story. Be glorified, have that grace, have that faith, and know that maybe the day's not that day, but tomorrow is. That's the perfect thing to say, is maybe the day is not that day, but maybe tomorrow is. And once you start looking at life like that, you'll be able to start taking those small steps and see the progression. And it's all about, how can I do 10% better today than I did yesterday? And once you start doing that and finding that discipline and commitment, you'll be able to see a lot more things. You'll be able to look up in the sky and see those stars align, baby. I promise. You'll be able to see those stars align. I think it's just very important to keep bringing that positive energy and keep trusting the Lord for all of his plans, because all of your wrongs were sacrificed from Jesus. Jesus sacrificed himself for all of your wrongs and my wrongs. And I think that's just, I think it's glorifying itself. I think it's amazing. I think that, just being able to look at it like that, like somebody sacrificed himself to be able to take all the forgiveness from us and be able to cast that onto the Lord, and be able to grow a relationship and be able to keep moving forward through hard times and be able to become a better version, be able to become a better person, is all what we need to strive for in this life, guys. If we were to all come together and be at peace, in the whole USA, America, and everybody was united, this world would probably work a lot better than what it is, probably less evil, right? But this world's full of evil. And we gotta try to we gotta try to cast all those evil in. We gotta try to bring them to the Lord. We gotta try to bring them in, because the Lord wants everybody. The Lord accepts everybody. The Lord wants to see even those bad people that's made really bad mistakes. The Lord wants to see that person rise with him, and the Lord wants him to come in and forgive and be able to sacrifice himself and be able to bow down and pray to the Lord and be able to change. Because in this life, guys, you have the opportunity to change. You have the opportunity to learn and adapt, and be able to keep moving forward. But are you willing to take that step forward? Are you willing to take that step through the uncertain paths to be able to see a bigger light at the end of the tunnel? Are you willing to take it? Because I'm telling you right now, if there's a cliff and, you know, say that there's 10, me and 9 other people are at the top of this cliff, I'm telling you right now, guys, I'm leaping off that. I'm leaving off that cliff, and I'm shooting for whatever I'm working on, because I know no matter what I go through, God has a plan. God has His prosper, and I'm going to shoot for what I want to do in this life. I'm going to try to attack it with the most perspective I can and most vulnerability I can. So if me and 9 other people are on top of this cliff, and, you know, my dreams are at the bottom of that cliff, I'm leaping off that cliff, baby. I'm jumping off that cliff, and I'm going head on, right to that dark tunnel. Like I said, right to that dark tunnel. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get past your problems. That's the only way. So moving on to our next part is, our good shepherd leads us beside the still and quiet waters, which speaks of refreshment, being watered and having our thirst quenched, being fully satisfied. This to me paints a picture of a peaceful, tranquil place in oasis, a place to be still before the Lord. This doesn't necessarily mean physical place, but rather a quietness within our souls, resting in that stillness, which results in being refreshed, renewed, and relived. God wants us to rest in His presence, even if our lives are hectic. In fact, even more so as we quiet ourselves before the Lord, and just to be still, allowing Him to water us with His word and peace and grace. We will be better able to listen for His value and voice and hear what of His heart. Kind of messed it up, so I'm gonna read that last part. In fact, even more so as if we quiet ourselves before the Lord and just be still, allowing Him to water us with His word and grace, we will be better able to listen for His voice and hear what's on His heart. That's a lot better. So that's a lot better, you know. So, no, necessarily, I think it's very important, guys, when you're going through tranquility and when you're going through the oasis, when you're going through times of, you know, hectic and chaos, it's very important to take that step back and learn how to meditate. I'm a big firm believer in meditation. I really love just being able to sit back and be able to just be at peace in my mind. I think that's the only way you can really, you know, be successful in life and be able to achieve things, is being able to have a peaceful mind, you know. Because when you're sitting there and you're thinking about all these burdens, or you're sitting there thinking about, you know, your past, or dwelling, or, you know, let's say you have anxiety, you know, all these things are just like triggering you. You're just like boom, 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 right? And you're just sitting there, you're like, do I want to take this step? Do I want to make that step? I don't know what to do, right? So, but if you can be able to take at least like 30 minutes a day, be able to meditate yourself, whether it's, you know, in the morning, evening, you know, nighttime, whatever it is, just be able, no, I'm not talking like just, you know, like that meditation. I'm talking about just being able to, you know, sit down, you know, with yourself, do something that you generally like doing, and be able to meditate through it. Being able to just sit there and be at peace, whether it's in the morning drinking a hot cup of coffee or a hot cup of tea, and just be able to sit there and relax yourself. Because relaxation is the most important part. Because like throughout the busy body, you want to be able to have relaxation. You want to be able to have your body fully rested and nourished, and be able to not feel the soreness, or be able to get back up tomorrow and attack a 10% better, right? So I think it's very important to find that meditation and be able to find that positive light for you guys. So like for me, I recommend listening to a podcast. That's my meditation personally. Listen to a 30-minute podcast is my meditation. Like I said, guys, meditating can be anything, you know, just how you view it. Like whatever you view, that's your perspective, that's your opinion. Like we all don't have the same opinions, right? So I think it's very important that whatever you perspective or you perceive and you have opinion on, keep following that opinion. Don't let somebody else change what your beliefs are, right? So necessarily, like for me, I take 30 minutes a day, maybe to an hour, maybe even longer, depending on what the podcast is. And I listen to a podcast. And my podcasts are motivational podcasts. My podcast is to discipline me and find me a mindset to keep on being committed to my journey. And not only to my journey, but to help, you know, other people rise with me. So I think it's very important to take that meditation time, learn from it, and keep being the person that you are. So, you know, during that time, you know, through the stillness, through the refreshing and the renewal, you'll be able to be at peace in your mind. Like I said, guys, that's very important. Be able to be refreshed and be renewed and be able to have that picture of peace. You know, you'll be able to strive yourself better tomorrow than you did, you know, yesterday or today. And once you start finding it, and once you start going down those uncertain paths, you'll be able to start seeing the, you know, bigger light. And I think it's very important, guys, when times are hard, just understand to fail forward. That's the only way you're going to be able to conquer your objective. So just know that, you know, like I said earlier, guys, just know God's working with you and not against you, and he's here for you to be renewed. He's here for you to be refreshed. Like I said in Good Shepherd Part 1, God's here to feed you, protect you, and guide you. But are you willing to take those steps and be able to accept him? Are you willing to take those steps to change your life for a better perspective and change your life for the better? It's all about how you want to do it. Are you willing to take those big steps? Are you willing to, you know, wake up in the morning and do 10% better today than you did yesterday? Are you willing to sacrifice the hard times to be able to get through the better times? And, you know, that's up to you guys at the end of the day. Like, everything that you listen to me or you listen to somebody else, you can either let it go in one ear out the other, or you can let it go in one ear and let it sit in your mind for a second and be like, Loki, he just said something I need to start working on, you know, or she just said something I need to start working on, you know. Like, once you start realizing that, and once you can start getting positive feedback, even if it's negative feedback, once you can start seeing the feedback and be able to take that feedback and work on yourself with it, you'll be able to start painting your canvas of your image. So I think it's very important. We are all similar to God, as God created us in like form. And, you know, God made us here for a purpose. Like I said, God has a plan for us, like Jeremiah 29:11. I love that quote. But God has a plan for us. So just keep being you, keep being your true self, and keep attacking every day like you would if you're having a positive day. Just try to wake up in the morning and remind yourself that every day is a great day to have a great day, and remind yourself how wonderful of a person you are, no matter what you're going through in your life. It's all about errors, it's all about trials and tribulations, but most importantly, it's learning how to get past those trials and tribulations and keep moving forward. Because you don't want, I'm telling you guys, you don't want to sit at the beginning of that tunnel and not make any steps. Because a lot of people will fail maybe 1 or 2 times, then they start taking those steps backwards. But I promise you guys, if you fell forward and take the steps out of failing forward, you will start seeing the progress. You know, just look at it like this, like all these top time, you know, streamers right now, all the artists, all the celebrities, all the people in this life, all, you know, no matter who they are, they started at one point from the bottom and they had trials and tribulations, but they understood to fail forward. Not only to fail forward, but they kept working on it. They kept working. Once you're consistent, once you have a self-divine mindset, and once you start trusting the Lord will see that, okay, this kid right here, this, you know, man, you know, female right here is putting a lot of work with me, you know, trusting me, and they're still being consistent doing what they love doing. Here's my reward to them, you know. And the Lord and God will see that. And at all times, if you trust the Lord, even if you don't trust the Lord, God still has you wrapped up in his arms, and he's saving you and he's protecting you no matter who you are. So remember that, guys. So our last part, and what we're going to end off on, is God lets us peace. No, I mean, I messed that up, chat. But here we go. God lets us pause and take moments of rest from life's busyness in place of communion with him. And in this pastor, we will be refreshed in him and walk into our day with his peace. So like I said, guys, it's very important to become the person that you're wanting to become. Be the ignite, be the light, be the flame in somebody else's eyes. Be the person that you're going to help somebody today, right? Because, like, you never know who or what somebody else is going through in life. So the biggest thing that you could work on is spreading some type of positive direction towards somebody else, whether it's going to the store, you know, saying, man, I like your shirt today, man, you got some good kicks today, man, like, I like your hair, whatever it might be. One good positive quote to somebody can change your whole day and make that person the happiest man ever, or happiest female ever. And I think it's just very important to, you know, inspire somebody else in a good direction. You know, say you don't want to be casting negativity on somebody else, because like I said, you never know what somebody else has been through. And I said it before, and I go back to this, especially when I'm talking about things like this, is, say there's 10 people in the room, right? If we were to all throw our problems into the middle of the pile, you know, 9 times out of 10, or 99.999%, affinity percent, you know, we're taking our own problems and we're walking out the door with them, and we're going out, you know, a different direction. Because at the end of the day, you never know what somebody else has been through in their life, you know? So I just think it's very important to understand that if you're positive, you'll be able to start seeing peaceful things. If you're positive, you'll be able to start seeing the enlightenment. If you're positive, you'll be able to start seeing success. If you're positive, you'll be able to really define yourself and work on yourself. So at the end of the day, guys, like I said it before, work on yourselves, find your self-love, find your discipline, find your commitment, find the things that make you genuinely happy, and don't let somebody else take that from you. And always live for the unexpected, guys. You never know when something good's going to come in return for you being good to somebody else, because I promise you guys, it's an effect in this world. If you like, you can walk into a store today, you're like, man, you got good shoes today, I really like that, where'd you get them from? Start that spark of a conversation. I promise you, it might not be the same day, it might not be the same week, it might be a month, it might be even a year later. That one little good thing that you did to that person will come back to you eventually. I promise you guys. And you're gonna be like, huh, I remember telling somebody to have a good day, and now somebody else is telling me to have a good day. I promise you, it's going to come back in a pattern. So just keep being positive, guys. Keep being enlightening. Keep being the person that you truly are, and keep attacking your goals and dreams, and let God take the will. Be able to understand, like I said plenty enough, but I'm going to say it again to drill it in, is God's working with you and not against you. Because like I said, guys, there will be uncertainty. There will be times where it's going to be hard, trials and tribulations. But understand, if you keep moving forward, you keep working, you keep digging, you'll be able to get to where you want to be at with the Lord. With that being said, guys, we're going to end it off with a prayer. We are just hitting 4 o'clock. We're probably going to be a little bit minutes, we'll probably be going a couple minutes late to work. But, I'd rather be doing this, every single day than to be going to work. I'd rather be talking about the Lord and, trying to help people. And, I don't really care about all the money, I just want to be able to help people and be able to bring people together, so that's my whole objective in this life. But with that being said, guys, we're going to hit with our prayer, and then we're going to get on out of here, guys. Dear Heavenly Lord, Father, thank you for another grateful, blissful day of waking us up. As we keep moving forward in this life, we understand that we have to fail forward in your name. And Jesus, we know that every single day there will be trials, there will be tribulations, there will be errors. But the more that we learn to fail forward, and the more that we keep on going, and we know that you're protecting us and we're in your arms, we know that we can get past anything that we put our mind to. As we look at the word impossible and say, I'm possible, we know that we can help one another rise and shine together. As we keep being positive and we keep casting our burdens and anxiety to your Lord, your name, Lord, we know that we can get through whatever we're working on. I think it's very important to know to keep on being the person that we're becoming to be with you, Lord. I know that sometimes things will be hard for other people to understand, but if you keep on being blissful and you keep looking out for someone else, that we'll see everything that will be in return of the pattern. But will you please watch over everybody that's traveling back and forth to work today? Will you please keep everybody safe, whatever they may be doing? Will you please keep everybody keep moving forward in your name, Lord, in Jesus' precious name, amen. That being said, guys, it's been your boy ZST, man, aka Zach Stunna, and we out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow at the gym. Get that good pump in. Tomorrow's gonna be a good stream. I'm gonna make sure I'm actually live. I'm gonna make sure that we're on the live stream and it's not just a joke, you know what I'm saying? Because like that was kind of crazy that the whole live stream didn't record anything, but we made it up. It's all right. It is what it is. But that being said, guys, it's been your boy ZST, aka Zach Stunna. Hold on, talking too fast. It's been your boy ZST, aka Zach Stunna Time, man. I'll catch y'all in tomorrow's live stream. I hope everybody has a wonderful, blissful evening. Like I did say, it is a short live stream today, but we had to cover it. We did cover Good Shepherd Part 2. I'll catch y'all on Good Shepherd Part 3 on Wednesday. Make sure y'all stay tuned in, and I'll catch you tomorrow for the live stream for day 27 out there in 65 days. Love you guys.